because there are all the bamboos which are scattered all over the ground. So it's not the formal meal. It's because during their stage, they mainly drink milk. Generally, at 10 a.m., we give them milk, bamboos, or the carrots to give them as breakfast. This is to practice their chewing capacity and then help them adapt to the most important food because they are growing, their teeth are growing. Just like children of human beings, they need hard things to grind their teeth. Because when you are doing the live streaming on the pandas, you cannot be too near to them because it would scare them. I'm wearing this kind of clothes, and inside my sleeves there are some fogs. Because we are in an isolation area. They're isolated for the safety reasons. Why don't you wear this? Every day I would contact them, and before I contacted them, I need to be disinfected. So they also need to wear the uniforms to separate you from the pandas. The pandas are outside. And there are some toys. Our animal keepers have given them toys, so they can see the colorful things. They will see the fresh things. The reason why we come to this cage because his mother is Gege. We call him the baby of the Gege. So these are twins. So which one? The first cub of Gege. So let's find the eldest one, the eldest child of Gege, because this place usually does not open to the public. We can rarely see the visitors. They're active here. Usually when you come here, you will see that they are on the trees, but you're lucky. You come now you can see that they are on the ground, playing. They like to hang on trees. You can see this is the second eldest child of Gege. In the human society, people like to lie on the couches. Also, in the world of pandas, they also like to lie. So it's like children. They're like human children, and the pandas like to play together. They lie together. The cub behind is the one that is the eldest. They're competing with each other. If the bamboo rod is crossed here, then it's a kind of snacks in Sichuan province. Nobody likes to wear, nobody likes to eat. The two children of Gege, in the eyes of the zookeepers, animal keepers, are they beautiful? Most pandas are beautiful, because I see that most pandas are beautiful. So any panda as a gift that will be given you, So will you accept that? It's like children. We usually give children a snack as breakfast, and then we'll let them play on the playground. After that, the animal keeper will give them the real breakfast, and then they eat some nutritious food. We'll seize the morning time to let them do exercises because the summer has come. When it comes later, it will be hotter. So because they have very thick hair, they do not like to do exercises. So it's like human beings when we wear some animal skin. Though the animal skin made food clothes are very expensive, we do not like to wear them because it is a torture during the hot summer days. So when they are just about 1 year or 2 years old, they do not eat bamboos. They can eat part of the bamboo leaves, but during this time, the cubs are still learning. They're learning from their mothers on how to eat bamboos. Now they're grinding their teeth, and that it can be part of the bamboo leaves. Is it the second eldest child or the eldest child? It's like children of human beings. The children like to fall to the ground. The second eldest cub is more active. The eldest cub is less active. It's not like their character. The male is less active than the female. You know that the younger sister just now she fell down, and this time she has regarded the stages as couches, and then they are interacting with each other. They are intimate, so every time we see this scene, we'll feel the warmth. And the older brother often teased the younger sister. And the sun is hot. They like to go back home. They'll find some shades. They want to go back. You can see that. Please introduce the cage of pandas. They're like the cottage of pandas. What's the small door used for? Sometimes we have to relocate pandas because they sometimes do not often remain in one place, so we need a door for the convenience of relocating pandas. So the gate, every day our keeper will clean their cages and then release them, and they will have a good mood. So I remember there is a recruitment of panda keeper and volunteers. People like to come to serve as kind of volunteers or the keepers, and there's so many volunteers. If you want to become the volunteers of pandas, so do they have some channels to come? Or will you have the release of the recruitment information? It's not regularly released. Currently, we do not have a regular recruitment or regulations. I've seen an interesting thing. Is it the work of is this stone the work of the keepers? Some talented keepers like to go to work in this time, and they like to draw some paintings on the stone. So they have painted them into the pandas. Now we are going to the main menu of this activity, and when it comes to Dujiangyan, so where are you from? I'm from Guang'an. How many years have you been working? I worked here in 2016. How long have you been the keeper? This year marks the 12th year as for me as a keeper. In 2012, I officially worked in Wolong in 2007. Many of the audience are interested in Wolong. How many pandas do you have in Wolong? There are so many bases of the research and research center. For instance, Dujiangyan Base. It is the emergency control center of panda. And then we have storage area. There are some wild rescue areas. So our center is just for this purpose. For the pandas, returning pandas, they will be sent here because there is a quarantine areas. So every time the pandas going global or going abroad or returning pandas will have quarantine here. So it means that when they go abroad or when they return, they should be quarantined. On the back here, we can see the hills. There is a very good geological environment because it is the origin of the Taoist. There are good mountains and good rivers. You can see that the mountains are greener than the mountains inside the city. We choose the areas for the pandas for the consideration of the greening, for the environmental protection. So they are near the natural environment. So we are we're about to enter the complex. We're going to cross it. Go ahead or we'll go outside. We'll go into the working area. I've heard that we can see 4 pandas. There are many cubs here. They're breeding here, and our human beings help them. Last year, there were about 42 cubs. Currently, it is currently 2018 marks a year that witnessed the most number of the cubs born here. Pandas can give birth to many cubs. They can give birth to a family. The cubs are scattered. So there are panda kindergartens in Wolong, right? Because they should be scattered. It is also for the sake of the population. Also, it is good for the management if we keep them together. There are many troubles. If they are scattered, you can timely detect problems and deal with them. Normally, the pregnancy compared with human beings, the pregnancy period is flexible. For the pandas, it's like three months. But the shortest pregnancy area is pregnancy period is 3 months. But the longest one is 300 days. So it's not just like human beings, because for the pandas they range from 70 days to 300 days. In spring they will breed and have the courtship. So currently now we can see the cubs. Most of them are 1-year-old and they're the most lovely. they're most interactive with human beings and like to stick to human beings. But now the new panda babies are in pregnancy, are conceiving. So it's now July. Every year the August is the month that witnessed the most number of newborn babies. So in the world of pandas, August is a month that witnessed the most number of babies. September, they will be 1 month old. So from August to we're the busiest from July to September, and in June they may be born. It may last until November or December. Some netizens have asked questions. How can they be the keepers of the pandas? Do you learn this? My major is wildlife protection. After graduation, I chose this major because I like it. So it's my purpose. You can also keep hippos or camels. Why do you keep pandas? Because before I often talk to them. I came from village. There are some relatives who are raising the pigs because you do not have a good major. When you graduate, you raise pigs. I swore that I would not keep pigs. I will raise pandas, our national treasure, because I learned this. I want to raise the national treasure. The best career is to keep pandas, but raising pigs are a good thing, and raising pigs earning money. And when you recruit the panda keepers, do you have requirements for their professions, their majors? Well, first we see their majors, and second we see their experience. Normally, when they have the interns, we will see if they have the interns in this area. Today, it is the name-seeking initiation ceremony. Now we are at the front gate of the center. We can see there is a simple venue. Now the activity comes to. Now we can see that the parents are invited to make panda wawatou. Okay, let's looking for pandas. Let's continue to look for pandas and leave them here to enjoy their activity. Afterwards, we'll see. We'll continue to ask. Learning the animal protection and the similar measures. Will it be helpful for you to become a panda keeper? This is just a foundation. If you do not have such measure, then the opportunity will be deviating from you. So someone often asks me how to go to the TV station for work. When you just learn the major, then it is more convenient for you to get the experience. But you should seek such opportunities intentionally. Sometimes it is also about their personality. when you keep pandas, first you should love animals, and second, you should be careful, and you should be patient. The most important thing is that you should not be afraid of hard work and the dirty work, especially for girls. Different people see it in different views. Somebody said that I graduated from universities. They see the hard work. But sometimes others will see the lovely animals. So for those who stay, they see pandas. For those who do not stay, at that time we're in Wolong, and every day we face the pandas. For those who do not love the pandas so much, they will be regarded as work. For those who love pandas, while it's coming to the paradise. I still remember when I came to Wolong, the first thing I did when I see the keeping area, when I see the statue, is it fake? Well, it's not. Some others said it's not statue, and the pandas don't like to move, so they can hold still for a long time. So at that time, I believe it's a statue, and it is very hard for human beings to stay still. And the pandas like to lie. They like to hang on trees. Some friends of mine come to Wolong to have some photographs, and the trees cannot bear their weight. They will hang themselves on the branches. Now we are at the Feifei's area. It's a female. Wow, it's wrong information on the symbol, on the sign. Its mother. So it's so huge. If you want to see babies, please look on the trees. I originally believe that she is the one who is sitting there. So I want to ask you, can babies become so huge? It's a huge baby. I can point it to you. Among the withered branches, the panda is lying there. And the trees are just planted for scenery. The trees are just for providing shades when they are grown up. You know that the pandas' paws are too strong and the trees are easily withered. So the trees planting in the panda gardens are not so lucky. When the babies are sent abroad, sometimes when they return, and they are also regarded as treasures outside. They look white and black, while our pandas look so wild. It's intended to do this, so in foreign countries, people regard them as treasures because they love them so much. They want to give them all the best. It's like keeping children. It is also applicable to human beings. We should not give all the best to children because that will spoil them. The professional scientists have watched how pandas live in the wild, so the scientists use the method of naturally grown, have created the natural environment for the pandas to raise the children themselves. We can see there are trees for them to climb up. Also, there are trees providing shades. Sometimes you can see pools. Wow, it's like a paradise. It's also there are some fogs. This is for lowering the temperature. It's too hot. How old is Feifei? Until August, it's 23 years old. In the world of pandas, it is senior. So, for human beings, it's like a man of 80 or 90. When they're eating bamboos, we can see they look attractive on the camera. We can see the twins of Gege and twins of Boshi, and they are very different. They're in the same keeping area, and they like to stick to human beings. When they hear the sounds of keepers, they like to hug the keepers. It's not like the babies of Feifei, because most of the time they spend most of the time with their mothers. When they first contact with the keepers, they will reject keepers. So all you have to do is to stroke his head. If you use more strength, then they will be hostile to you. If they feel your smell is different, they will be hostile to you. So if it is a different keeper, they will also be hostile. Actually, there are wildlife training for pandas. In the future, we can help them to return to nature. This is an important method for them to return to nature. In the past times, we went to the animal zoo to watch the pandas, and we see them as toys in a big glass box. But now, the pandas are watching human beings. We're just the animals in their eyes. We can see the pandas who are sleeping on the trees. Can you feel that the environment here is different from zoos? Do you think it is natural? We did not adopt any steel rods to make some small houses for them. We just mimic the natural environment so they can feel close to the natural environment. If someday they cross over the rail and go to the areas where human beings live, what would you do?
阿泰，停下来了是啊。哎，我糟了，我的摄像师跑了，我得去把我的泰山找回来。他现在拍的另外的猫肯定是。他猫也一样的。嗯。其实，在我们饲养员心目中啊，每只大熊猫都是一样的，都是可爱的。对，我们都应该用一样的心来对待它们。但是难免都会有遇到，哎，这只特别可爱，我更喜欢这。 with the same mindset,
But sometimes you feel that this panda is more close to me. I would like to leave them more food because they are exchange of emotions. Why do they like to have this posture? Because he just ate some food. Also, it is maybe because of the weather conditions. Additionally, so when we stare at them carefully, when the visitors or the keepers see them, they may have some responses. But you should look carefully. But several days ago, on the internet, I have seen some news in the other provinces. When the pandas become elder, they will not like to move. So when they become lazy, would you like to slash them? So this behavior is bad. You can imagine that when the children do not respond, would you be happily to let others to pick up some things, to smash them, to throw some stones at them? So I like to appeal to the visitors, wherever you are, at the zoos or at the research center, we should respect them. They're resting, and it's their nature. So we should respect them. We should not throw stones at them. Not just for pandas, for all animals where we can get close to them. We must keep the same. We must be civil. For the grown-up pandas, sometimes when they are elder, they will be a little lazier. But we want to photograph more postures or conditions. When will they become more active, or when will they ignore you? So you can see our working time. At 10 a.m., they're most active, because in this time, the keepers would like to clean their houses. Most of the time they are dining. When they do not have the rest, they will be active. So this is a good time for you to interact with them. In summertime, at 10 a.m., at 2:30 p.m., it is a good time for interacting with them. Pandas also need rest. We can follow them. The most important characteristic is that its working posture. But for most of the pandas, their walking postures are different. When the keepers are talking to them, they will have responses. For keepers, if they understand you, they will feel you have the achievement. So you will be on this position for decades later, and you will feel that you are recognized, especially at least you're recognized by the pandas. Every day when you accompany the pandas, it is important for them to recognize you. The flaws of this work is that sometimes the pandas will be relocated. When they leave, you will miss them. If they're cubs, you will treat them as babies or children. If for grown-ups, you treat them as families. Even if you just raise them for just several months, you miss them when they leave. When you go abroad, for several years you will not see them. Sometimes you feel sad, especially when you have to send them to leave. then the keepers will burst into tears. Do you have such an experience when you have to send them abroad? First time I did this, I miss them so much. I would be very emotional. But later, I would also cry, but it's not just like the first time. So sad. At that time, I was just an intern. Then the pandas were sent to Hong Kong because it is my first experience. I spent so much energy and time on the pandas. And they let me understand the characteristics of pandas and their living styles, lifestyles. And I felt I was rewarded. It's like your friends. When they are gone, you miss them. We sent them to the trucks, and then I just chased the trucks and burst into tears and said I do not leave. At that time, I was young. I was beautiful. I hope I will be brought together with the pandas. The name Taishan is also a name given by Americans after voting. Well, not ordinary animals would not like to get such kind of name. Taishan represents the image of China, so the Mount Tai given to them is not randomly given. They are smart. They would find some shades to have a rest. Also, in the visitors area, the playground for pandas seem to be bigger. We do not have any discrimination. They are all our babies. 所谓的这个幼儿园每年这个开学季啊，大家在一个草坪上摊平，一草坪的这个芝麻汤圆。It's not like a kindergarten of the pandas. 或者他们生活的地方，他们也有各自的这个领地和家。The real pandas, when you come to the conservation center, they have their own territories and families. 他还是在听你说完那两句抱怨才走的。好，现在其实这个 It is still listening to you. 回到，其实你看到没有？就是我们今天会命名的熊猫，只是换了一个方向，它仍然在睡。树上的那个飞飞仔，仍然。连着街的大熊猫啊。The panda is still sleeping. The biggest characteristic is for them in this stage is to like to hang on trees because they feel safe. And the wildlife this way can keep them away from dangers. Would you like to go down? The mother is patient. Last time I came here, I've seen this scene. When they were dining, I like to show the food to the visitors. Once the babies fell to the ground, so each time when she dined, and she would protect the babies, her babies, so that she could see the babies when the babies were eating. It's the love from mother. Do you like to ask questions? If there are no questions, it is the end of the live streaming. Because I believe you like to watch pandas. Then, because our time is limited, we have to end here. Welcome to Chengdu. There's 2 areas for the conservation of pandas. It is in Dujiangyan, which is more cooler than the ordinary areas. This area has greener mountains and cleaner rivers, so welcome you here. So I would like to say goodbye to you. If you do not to see more,